Okay, can you give me, okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nicole Lao, and I'm here to give you a speech on my relationship with my sister and the progression of it. I'm sure I can relate to all older siblings, or most older siblings, when I say I never wanted a younger sister or brother, but there they are. And I think to myself, to this very day, what did I do to deserve you? I don't know. And then around the age of 5, my dad made us play tennis together, and eventually we had to play doubles. And let me tell you, there was a lot of arguing on the court. We looked like an old married couple yelling at each other to get up and get the remote, like, no, you get it, you get it. It was just really bad. So today I'm going to tell you about how our relationship progressed over the years. There's many responsibilities to being the firstborn child, and I did not want the responsibility of my younger sister. First off, being the only child and the firstborn child, obviously, I was spoiled. And I didn't want to share that spotlight with my sister, and whenever I would act up or complain, my mom would always say, you have to be a role model for your sister. And I hated that. But so, to get back at my mom, I would fight with my younger sister and we would argue endlessly. So obviously we did not get along. But over time I started to accept the fact that I was the older sister and I accepted the role of it. I found myself protecting her from girls that talked bad behind her back and from guys that flirted with her disrespectfully. And I didn't do it because I felt like I had to, I did it because I want to. And when my dad started to teach tennis with my sister and I, that pushed us together and made us be with each other more. And as we kept playing matches, doubles matches, we had to tell ourselves we have to put our differences aside and we have to try to cooperate together. And somehow that would translate off the court. And during elementary and middle school, we went to the same school, but it wasn't until high school, we went to separate high schools, and that was when we got closer. I don't know exactly what made us closer. I guess it's because we hated the same people. My relationship with my sister is much better now, because now I tell her everything. I call her whenever I can, whenever she picks up, which is almost never. And I tell her everything from my relationships to my problems to the fake people in my life. And it's good. And one time, funny story. So I was in school, and then she texted me, and then she said, because I get home before her, and her report card gets mailed to our house. And she said that once I got home, I had to rip up that report card and throw it in our neighbor's garbage. And I found that very funny because it really describes our relationship. Because I cover for her, she covers for me, and she sneaks out, so I cover, But we also keep each other in check. And whenever one of us is acting up in front of our parents, or we have a bad tennis match, we always tell one another that we need to get our act together and it's gonna be okay. So what I learned about being the older sister is it taught me patience and responsibility at a young age. She really shaped who I am today because without her I would be spoiled, I would be a little bit more bratty, and I would just completely think about myself. I know I taught her a lot of things, especially on how to deal with fake people and relationships and guys especially, and betrayal. And she taught me a lot of things as well. I even go to her for some advice, and I like knowing that she is someone that I can count on and trust. And even though we grew up in the same household, we had different experiences. And I know our relationship was rocky from the beginning, but I'm glad we overcame our differences and we're as close as we are now.